Hello there, I'm Boo, and I like drawing, maximizing my hours in all the Pokemon games to find Chinese, and I really love to complain about lore in World of Warcraft. But hey, you guys said you wanted an episode of me just yapping and gathering minerals and stuff, so here you have it. Me yapping. A lot. But like this, we don't have the nice clonk 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 sound that usually plays when you mine an ore. I think it's also very annoying. I don't like the whoosh whoomp and then whoosh and whoomp again. Also, your character like does a little hair every time you mount up, so there's also that. But if you only want me to do that because it's boring and I will suffer, then I will not do it, by the way. I value my time on this earth too much for that. He said, and then he was mining for 300 classic mining skill in Winterspring. Hello, 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 and welcome back to a new episode on the channel. Today, as I've did a little poll in my community tab on YouTube, which I very much like to do every now and then, so always check that one out, because I usually just ask you guys very dumb questions, what you would like to see in future videos. We're gonna have a little yapping and gathering herbs / mine session today. But I thought before we do that, you guys should be here when I pet my last dog and get Taiwan as a mount. Also, I brought my wife. She's there in the background and she's watching me angrily because I petted all the dogs without her, but she took a nap. Alright, and for this one, we have Soyo, at least according to my Who's a Good Bakar achievement, left to pet. So let's do that real quick. And... oh wow, we got 3 mounts, holy hell. Okay, this is him, huh? Oh yo, that's a big dog. But no special animation for the mounting up thingy. That's a little bit disappointing, but no matter. We're not gonna go on a hunt with Taiwan. Sorry. Well, and with this good boy acquired, I'd say we're gonna go and get some ores now. Alrighty, and now, with that doggo finally ours, I think it's time to do some farming together. And for that, I thought that we start in the Burning Crusade, because what I would like to accomplish during this video, or at least at some point, is getting the full mining skill in BC, which is 75. And also, if we still have time, to finish the 300 for Classic. Yeah. And I think to make this a rather pleasant experience for everyone involved, I thought we turn off nameplates, because that way the interface is a lot cleaner. And yeah, I'm also gonna turn this off, and yeah, I think that looks a lot cleaner, and then we don't have all these disturbing bars around us. And now I don't really have a specific greenery, a specific route for the Burning Crusade. I always find gathering minerals in Burning Crusade extremely exhausting. Sometimes I have very nice routes, but then when I take them again, just nothing spawns there, and I feel like I'm just a total idiot. So I usually like to swing around Nagrand and the Terracar Forest and Shadow Moon Valley, and sometimes go over to Blade Edge Mountains, but honestly, I'm mostly just here for the vibe, because it's a pretty nice vibe. Oh, let me also clean this up. Yeah, you know what, we can also just disable it. Then we're also missing that. Details, yeah, details. And now we're gonna have a very long loading screen, and I'm not gonna tab out because then the game might freeze, which is a problem that apparently has become very normal ever since the last patch. And it's very annoying, because who doesn't tab out of World of Warcraft every now and then, huh? Now you can see my little walk-off data store mails shame down here. We're gonna ignore that, and yeah, by the way, this is not gonna be super efficient. Rather the opposite, actually. I was kind of thinking about naming this video just Come Farm Ores, or like stuff in World of Warcraft with me the most inefficient way possible, because this is definitely not it. But who cares? And if you're wondering why I'm not doing this in dragon flying, because you... Hello? Use this mount in the current area, you must be above water. What? That cannot be used while swimming. Oh, because it's like... Yeah, I wanted to be cool and use one of my remix mounts for once. And I don't know if this has like some Dragon Ball reason why you cannot use these in water. You also get dismounted in water on them. Maybe because they're like supposed to be a cloud that has like a little disc on top of them, but it's just rather annoying. Maybe we will just switch back to the Cartel Masters Gear Glider. But the reason why I'm not using that one is because it has a cool, but especially if you do it repeatedly, very annoying animation that is also rather loud. So yeah. Oh yeah, now I'm thinking about it. I had this all set up already. I think this is fine. I think we're gonna turn this down a little bit. Yeah, I think the mining sounds are in the effects, right? I think that's what it was. Well, and oh yeah, and now I need to minimize this again because that looks ugly. Sorry for that. I always forget that it just comes back when you relog. And now I'm just gonna try and get to... Like I've already said, 75. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to spend all my time in Burning Crusade. Like I said, Burning Crusade, gathering ores is very grindy. Especially if you only find fell iron, because we need adamanted and up to even get a skill point anymore. But Nagrand should host all of the above, so that's nice. But like I said, I'm also thinking about maybe doing some classic mining in Winterspring for the last few points. Although that is also gonna take forever. Because for some reason they just thought, hey, what if it's just a very low deal? Anyway, one of the topics that I definitely wanted to yap about today is the remix. The Legion remix that we're gonna have at some point in the future. I don't think anyone knows when exactly that thing will launch. If I would have to guess, I'd say, since Blizzard is not that stupid usually, that they will definitely launch it when we have a little bit of a content drought. Which will probably happen around the time that we prepare for midnight, but we still have a current season running, so just like last time, where it was basically just trying to distract everyone from the fact that Season 4 of Dragonflight was utterly boring. I mean, I'm kinda-ish excited to see what they're gonna do for the last patch, and also if they wanna do another Season 4 that is just reheated content, but... Since, especially lately, Blizzard just loves reheating content with little to no elbow grease put in to actually make it exciting, I don't think that would be so incredibly strange of them, right? To just do another horrible Season 4. Also, if they already said what they wanted to do, then please ignore all of this. I haven't really looked anything up, but I don't think we know much about Legion Remix yet. I mean, ever since they announced it, that it's gonna be Legion Remix, I was worried, to put it mildly. Because the thing is, with Mist of Pandaria Remix, they kinda took the easiest possible route to do that. And so much shrubbery. As in, they didn't put in any of the Rathian Cloak questlines, which was such a bummer. They didn't put in Vol'jin's Revolution. They were just like, yeah, this is the last patch of Mr. Pandaria. There is no legendary questline. Just go crazy. And it was fun. It was fun, but it wasn't really Mr. Pandaria, you know? It was just the easiest way to create content out of nothing, or rather out of, content that was already there. And to be honest, I think the same can be said about the visions again, because yeah, of course they put a few mounts into the visions and a few secrets, and that's really cool and that's really neat, but is it insane? No, it's not. It's still just the visions from Battle for Azeroth, but with the difficulty slightly cranked up, and that's it. That's literally it. They didn't even bother to put in a real quest line. I mean, and people would complain about having to do a quest line, but you know what else is new? So I am a little bit worried about Legion because, as many of you probably know, because everyone loved Legion, Legion was very involved. Like, that was an expansion, and there's a reason why everyone loves that expansion so much. You were going back and forth into the old world, into zones that you haven't visited ever since they came out. And it was just all very, look, the World of Warcraft is coming together to beat down the Legion. And if you remember the Mr. Pandaria remix, then you might also remember that we never left Pandaria. Save for, like, I think 2 quests within the war campaign, which you were able to play. I will give them that. You were able to play parts of that. And that took you a little bit outside of Mr. Pandaria, but not really. And you were still stuck and you couldn't really do anything. But Legion does that all the time. And Legion also had one thing that at least made it very special to me, which was giving classes an identity. And even though I disagree with many of the ideas that they had for class identity, I can definitely say that I very much enjoyed just having an order hall and gathering different appearances for my artifact weapon. And I worry that they might go the same route that they did with the Pandaria remix and just plop us right into the last patch of Legion, give us Argus, don't give us any order halls, and just say, now do world quests and M+ until you're falling over dead, basically. And one of my main concerns why that might be the case is that we have a new class. We have yours truly, the Evoker, and Evokers don't have, to this day, an order hall, an artifact weapon, or a title. And even though it would be, in my opinion, a very easy win to include all of that if you already do a revisited Legion anyway, I kind of worry that they're just gonna go the lazy route. Also, is this music loud enough? Or is it a little bit too quiet? Because especially like in these old zones, like the music is not as overbearing as in the newer ones. So yeah, I hope you can hear that beautiful Nagrand music in the background. Also, hello, where is my... Ah, there she is. So, my little wish list for Legion Remix, if someone would ask me, is definitely all the Order Hall campaigns. Please put them in there. I've done them so many times. I don't have to do them again, but I gladly do them again because they're fun most of the time. Looking at you, Paladin and Priest. Priest especially. God, Priest is so boring. Maybe give us some additional titles, because I think to this day the Order Hall titles are some of the coolest ones they ever put into the game. And there are still some that fit with your class that never made it into the game, or that never got added for specific classes. And also add something for Evokers, please. Give them an Order Hall, give them NPCs, give them people that you can recruit for your campaign, give them a title. I mean, Scale Commander is right there. It's kind of crazy that you can skill into the Scale Commander hero talent, but you cannot have that title yet. I think that would be so cool. I think that would be so dope. I think that would be so much fun. But obviously that would also be a lot of work because, yeah, especially for the Order Hall and Artifact campaigns, you need to go into the old world like all the time. And in remix fashion, they just wanted you to stay on that isolated little ground that Mr. Pandaria is, or was. Well, Pandaria in any case. And obviously, just like everyone else, I also want some recolors of the sets from Legion. I want recolors of all the artifact weapons. I want an artifact weapon for Evoker. Okay? And not only because I'm playing one right now, I honestly, as soon as I saw that they want to do remix for Pandaria, not Pandaria, sorry, for Legion, I thought, hey, you should really do something for Evoker. Because otherwise, that Legion remix is gonna feel so bleak. Just earlier I did the Legion Fall quest just to be able to, have Legion Fall dailies, and it looks so sad. It's so sad. Like, there are no people hanging out in your main hub in Legion Fall. Because in case you don't know or you never realized, in Legion Fall, like the little point, Deliverance Point, I think it's called. No, wait. I think it's called Legion Fall, right? Wait, let me look this up. Broken Isles, Broken Shore, Deliverance Point. Okay, never mind. Right here. On the top of the hill, depending on your class, it looks different. Because depending on your class, all your class people are there. And do little shenanigans, and it's just flavor, but it makes it look real nice, and I really like that. And it looked so sad. I will probably put a screenshot in right now of the Evoker. And also they never bothered to, oh yeah, we have right, we have 50% more reputation, right? Yeah. Okay, maybe I will do a little bit later on my own of that, because for now we have an objective. I will not be distracted from that. Yeah, so that would be nice. You know, let all these scale commanders run around there. Maybe do a nice little quest line with like the legacy of the Dragthyr and whatnot. And I know, then you first of all have to write a quest line, and second of all you probably would have to let us go to at least the Dragon Isles, but probably also places like Deepholm and stuff. But there is so much potential there, you know? And that comes from a former Evoker hater, and I just from the top of my head have so many ideas how you could do a very cool, very neat class campaign. But hey, that is really up to Blizzard. Also, is this a rare mob? Yeah, this is a rare mob. Hi. Hi there. So yeah, tell me, what are your ideas for Legion Remix? Are you excited about it? Are you a little bit because you're also a little bit worried that it's also gonna be another, well, to call Mists of Pandaria Remix a nothing burger is a little bit mean. I had so much fun there, but that was because I made it fun for myself and not necessarily because there was a lot and a ton of stuff that like gave it really, I don't know, like as soon as you've quested through everything once, and especially if you're like me, never stopped questing the old zones, so, you know, questing something like Pandaria was not that crazy and new to me as it was for many of my friends who never bothered to look old content into the eye like once. Are you more on that train, or are you super excited? Are you like, I don't even care how they do it, I can't wait to go back to Legion? But like, for example, for those Legion lovers out there, and I definitely count myself in on that one, would you also feel like it would still be Legion if there wouldn't be order halts? If there wouldn't be class campaigns? If there wouldn't be questlines for your artifact weapon? Like, would that still feel Legion to you? Because it would definitely not feel Legion to me. I would definitely feel like there's something missing. I knew there would be a deposit in there. And in case you're wondering, hey Boo, you just want to level up, why are you also gathering all these Fel Iron deposits? Because Fel Iron is literally liquid gold. That shit is so expensive still to this day, and after all, we're still gathering all of this, so at the end I can start doing my jewel crafting adventure with you guys together, because that is also on my list that I really want to do. And for that I'm just, you know, leveling up all the mining right now, because I want to have that done. Done and done. Okay, you guys need to die like yesterday. Hello? Fire! Oh, yeah. Okay. And also, next big thing that is on my Legion Remix wishlist, professions. I really missed that in Remix of Mists of Pandaria, that we had no professions. And especially in Legion, they did like this big thing where you basically had to level your profession, or like learn about your profession recipes and stuff throughout a lot of quests. And that was fun. That was very, very roleplay. And it also, it made sure that not only are you, for example, a fire mage, but you're also a fire mage that is an alchemist and an herb gatherer. And everything had like character and everything was so fleshed out. And I just think that that would be neat. And just like with the other halls, I feel like something, for me at least, would be missing from Legion if they wouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, I know that maybe they will simply just go, F it. People are gonna play this stuff anyway because we're just gonna drown them in Transmog. And hey, like, there's no judging from my point of view, at least towards the people that would play it because of that, because I would also definitely play it because of that. If they would just shove Transmog into our faces and tell us to shut the fuck up. Which is probably what they're gonna do. Let's be honest here. But hey, like I always like to say, dream a little bit. Dream a little bit about what else there could be in the World of Warcraft for you. Honestly, Zangarmarsh still to this day is such peak zone design to me. Like, Burning Crusade in itself is just so beautiful, and I'm a certified Wrath baby. Like, I love Wrath simply because it's nostalgia to me, but also because I love Wrath. But Burning Crusade has some of the most gorgeous zones, and they're so out there, man. They cooked so hard with Burning Crusade. Don't let any of the haters ever tell you anything else, honestly. I know that there's a surprising amount of people that really don't like the Burning Crusade for some reason. But thankfully I can say I've never been one of them. I hate other stuff, but as you know, I'm a very intense hater, but sometimes I also come around to love the stuff then. So, you know, I just proved that by get my boy Taiwan after a very, 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 very long grind. By the way, one thing that I was actually debating for this video, and that I would maybe debate for like just a little farm along with me, no yapping on my side, and just no UI and just vibes and WoW. If you do the mining like I'm doing it right now from like the top of your mount, and very importantly, you need to stay afloat while you do that. If you land, then the game will just kick you off, but if you hover above the mining node a little bit, then you will not get dismounted like this. But like this, we don't have the nice clonk 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 sound that usually plays when you mine an ore. I don't know why that's the case. Funnily enough, they didn't include this for herbalism. For herbalism, you get dismounted, obviously for skinning as well. But I noticed that those two gathering professions at least have an increased speed. So that's nice. So you don't get the just flying around and mining everything while you're flying treatment, but you definitely are also a little bit speedier. So that's cool. But that is also why I don't use dragonflying. I think I started that little train of thought earlier, and then I got distracted by something else, because this is a very professional setup. But yeah, this is why I never use dragonflying for gathering anything, because I think it's also very annoying. I don't like the whoosh, whoomp, and then whoosh and whoomp again. I'm not here for it. I rather very much enjoy these very nice and relaxing farming moments where you're just zooming around the world, especially the old world, and gather some either gold because you're smarter than me, and instead of using the stuff for you know, your own devices, you just put them on the auction house, which would be the way smarter move, because especially stuff from the Burning Crusade is expensive. Holy hell. So if you would rather make gold with this, then just throw everything into the auction house, honestly. Alrighty, how far are we? Ah, thank you. We're 73. Okay, I mean, that's not that far away from getting to 75. I honestly, by the way, don't know how much I will edit this, if I will just leave all of my train of thoughts, or rather my how do you say that, my endless stream of consciousness in here. And also if I will edit out all the bloopers, I probably will. But this will probably be a very, very long video because we're, I think, at like 25, 26 minutes already of the recording and we're not done with outline mining yet, so... But hey, you guys said you wanted an episode of me just yapping and gathering minerals and stuff, so here you have it. Me yapping. A lot. Alrighty, we're still at 73. I thought I'd be sneaky and gather a few ores without recording, but I did that. But it didn't give me a single skill point, man. And all the while I was thinking, man, I would really like to gush about how beautiful Blade's Edge Mountain is. But it also doesn't help that there's so much Fel Iron. I mean, good on you, Fel Iron. I like you, Fel Iron. I need you as well. But also, I need the other thing. I need the blue thing. Or I would also take like a corium deposit. Because first of all, that stuff is really expensive. Like, I think one ore sells for multiple hundreds of gold. Also, wait, what was in there? Because I don't think I would go in there for Fel Iron, but I might go in there for, you know, some adamant too. Huh? Hey, what the hell? You guys saw that, right? You did. Adamanted and adamanted. Yeah, okay. You know what? Let's just go in here. Hello? Jesus. Worm cult, huh? That's a little bit awkward. Wait, where is that deposit? Is it on this side? Or is it on the other side of the mountain? I think it's on the other side. Let's see. Oh yeah, it is. Alrighty. I remember while I was still studying during COVID and also... Oh hell yeah, we got... I didn't even notice. We got 75. Anyway, when I was still studying during COVID, we had to have all of our gatherings for like our monthly discussions about our work. We had to have that online on Zoom, or I think it was Zoom, I don't even remember. And I remember because those things went on for hours until it was your turn to talk about your work. And like, don't get me wrong, it's amazing to see the work of your fellow students, but man, you were growing weary after like a few hours of it. And because my last name is, let's say, not at the start of the alphabet, I always had to wait so long. And I just started at some point playing World of Warcraft on the side while I was like continuously smiling into my webcam because we had to have webcam enabled. But I remember that I was actually farming ores right here while I was waiting for my turn to talk about my work. Yeah, funny little COVID stories. And we're interrupting this very cozy farming session for a little weekly vault because, as always, I have at least one to show you guys or to just share my pain with you. That depends, I guess, depends. Alrighty. Let's see. Create loot for devastation. And I bet it's gonna be grand day. I mean, the past few have been. Aha! Okay, we have this. Like how? I'm gonna get to the mythic signet. Okay, don't worry. But how did we get this trinket already? I think 4 times in our weekly vaults. What is going on, my lord? Okay, to be fair, this is also, I think, my 4th LFR Eye of Kazan, but you know, it's an Eye of Kazan from the LFR. This and that and another horrendous trinket from the Delves. Man, Delves started out so strong at the beginning of the War Within, you know, and I still love it that it's just relatively easy hero gear, especially for people who do not like to raid or to do M+. I just wish the loot pool was better. Man, the loot pool is horrendous. Also, a weapon, of which we are missing the transmog, so, you know, maybe we should go for that. Or we should just pick up the Signet of the Priory. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we're gonna do, especially because I've been the smart cookie and didn't upgrade mine last week. I've been keeping all my crests close to me again. But now we have a signet, and we're just gonna exchange one signet against the other. And just like that, we are at 666 item level. Ain't that cool? And we also have quite a lot of Gilded Undermine crests, and we can also exchange a few, and that also means that I can upgrade a few items, and that's pretty cool. And yeah, so overall, not the best, not the worst. Also not very exciting, but you know, that's just the WoW Within Season 2 for me. I don't know why. Alrighty. Next up, Winterspring, which is my favorite zone to farm thorium. And I always forget that I can just go to Hyjal and then fly down. I usually just take the short route and fly there all the way from Orgrimmar, at least as a Horde player. Because sometimes I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? But you already knew that. Okay, yeah. Surprisingly enough, Winterspring is also right behind us, but my orientation in real life and in games is just so bad. It's not even funny. Okay, wait. Let's just use the fact that we are at Dragthyr, and let's fall down here. Don't even know if that's faster than just... I mean, probably with dragon riding it wouldn't be faster to fall, but with normal flying, I feel like it. Ah, man, look at this beautiful zone. Ah, I love it here so much. I know. Certified Wrath fanboy likes Winterspring. Who would have ever guessed? Okay, shall we use the Cartel Master's Gear Glider? Yeah. Also, your character like does a little hair every time you mount up. So there's also that. Okay, how dire is it? Do we get... Oh my gosh, small thorium veins don't give us... Oh god, they don't give us skill points anymore. Okay. Wait. First of all, why don't you ever drop me greens anymore? I have no idea. Do we still get skill from... Oh, we do! Oh yeah, until 280, right? Ah, man, we should really do that. Yeah, we should really do that. Do you think there is an anvil in Everlook? I think we still have portable anvils on the guild bank, but I'm not 100% on that because I kinda raided our guild bank recently. But there should be an anvil here, right? Yeah, there is. Okay. So, wait, but oh, I never learned that. Oh, because I just leveled up. Oh, no. Okay. Anyone here a mining profession guy? Probably no, right? Oh no, everything is falling apart at the seams. Okay, here you have supplies. That's great, honey, but that's not what I'm looking for. Oh no. Oh no. Ah, okay. Then I guess I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back, and it's only a day later. I smelted some thorium bars, and it actually turns out we made it to 290 that way, which is great because, yeah, I remember now, the only way to skill up to 300 is by mining rich thorium veins, which are green. So, yeah. This is gonna take some time. Luckily, we still have the Dark Moon Fair, which will give you, I think, 1 or 2 or even 3 skill points to the highest still missing skill points profession that you have. So, for example, if you have Zandalari mining not completed, but you also don't have classic mining completed, it will always choose the Zandalari one. So, yeah. Imagine we could just choose which one gets the points added, but that's Blizzard for you as always. But before we actually start, farming, you might realize that I am in a new attire, and this is a set that I actually really like. It's a combination of the current shoulders and belt from the Gladiator set, like not the hardcore PvP Gladiator set, but like the normal Conquest one. And I combined it with the Hunter set from Sepulchre of the First Ones, LFR version, which you never ever see. basically. But, you know, for all its flaws of the Drakthir armor system, at least they have the perfect colors to go along with it, even though you can't really see the Sepulchre set right now. But you might see that I haven't transmogged my weapon yet, and that is because I couldn't decide which one. And because I'm a smart cookie, I didn't transmog my weapon, which will cost me 171 gold every single time I mog it. But instead, I transmogged a bunch of heirloom weapons, which will just cost you 1 gold. So if you ever wanted to do that yourself, then, you know, now you know. And for anyone still watching, which is probably not that many, I have a little question for you. Which one of these weapons should I transmog? And the first one on my list is this beautiful hammer from the Sepulchre. It cheats differently than all the other hammers, just like the gravel of the first Arbiter, the weapon from the jailer. It cheats the other way around, which is kind of cool. I sometimes wish that they would just let us decide which way weapons cheat. I mean, apart from that, I think it's a beautiful weapon, but it's really small, so yeah, that's why you probably don't see it that often. This second one is another hammer from, you guessed it, the Sepulchre of the first ones. Still LFR, by the way. All the green weapons are LFR. This one is, I think, my favorite. I think this one I will also transmog for the rest of the video. Third option for once, not Sepulchre of the first ones, but Walls of the Incarnates. I mean, it has this brown going on, and that is a little bit yucky. But I still think it's a beautiful weapon, especially as a Drakthir, pretty fitting. And I think that, well, the green fits, so, you know, there's that, which is always pretty hardcore to do in World of Warcraft, because colors don't ever match for some reason. We also have this crazy staff that is also pretty high on my list, because, well, I think it cheats very perfectly. I think it looks absolutely insane. Kind of looks like you have a double-sided laser sword, which is pretty cool. So I'm still debating if I want to mog this one or the other mace that I showed earlier, or if we want to go for the swords from the Sepulchre of the first ones. I think this one looks the cheapest of them all. I am not super crazy about this one. I like the little ball that is like turning inside the sword. But apart from that, this is definitely my least favorite option. But tell me which one you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I, for now, will definitely transmog something. Yeah, I will not transmog that one, I think. I think I'm gonna go with my mace. But please tell me which one you prefer. And now, I'm also choosing a different mount for now. And we also need to change our flying style. But this is actually one of the mounts from the horrific visions that I talked about. And I really like this effect. And in case you're wondering now, Boo, why are you also mining the small thorium veins? Because then they have a chance to respawn as a bigger one. So that's why. And here's a rich thorium vein, and this will give us a skill point, right? No, of course it doesn't. And also, I did some M+ yesterday, so all of this is enabled again. And also, I think my music is not correct. No, I think this is just the way it's supposed to be, right? I think this was the same that we had last time. Oh, and we're also gonna turn off all these. Wait, interface, no nameplates, no thank you. Okay, perfect. Now we have it all cleaned up again, and there is a rich thorium vein. Oh yeah, come on, give me a skill point. Just one, you know? If you just give me one, I'm whatever. This is gonna take forever. I think this is a way longer grind than the BC one, and honestly, I might just do this on my own at some point, because I think if I'm now gonna record myself mining until I'm on 300, this video this video is gonna be the longest video that I've ever had on my channel, and that will include the launch of the Drakthir as all classes video, which I think was over an hour. At least the first one, but I'm not even sure about that. Small. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, the good thing is we will not run out of thorium. So there's that. And that's pretty neat, right? And also, obviously, we're gonna mine a lot of crystals that way. And this is a little cave. Die, my guy. But caves usually mean some bigger deposits. So that's nice. I see, rich and small and rich. Okay, we're gonna go for the rich one. We're gonna ignore the small one because this is inside a cave. We don't need respawns inside a cave again. Let's be honest here, because this is taking forever already as it is. And since we already talked about remakes, or rather I did, and you had to listen. I am also now going to talk about another topic that I am thinking quite a lot about lately, WoW wise, and those are the hero talents, or rather what will happen to hero talents once the War Within is over. As far as I understood it, I think that since it's a saga, Midnight and The Last Titan will also use the hero talent system, or at least be built upon it, which I very much hope they will do, because I know that Blizzard is absolutely obsessed with creating new systems and then abandoning them as soon as possible. Again, just to make sure that they did all that work for absolutely nothing. But I would really like for them to build up on hero talents and maybe include many of the talents that are now hero talents into the next version of them. Because I think if we move into the next expansion and just have the same hero talents as we have them now and have a little bit of buffing and nerfing, I don't think many people will be happy about that. For example, I am currently playing an Evoker, and I am playing as a Scale Commander. And any of you who do any form of current content will now say, what the hell, Boo? Why would you do that? Flameshaper is so much better. And yeah, it is, but I don't think it's very much fun. I think it's a very unfinished spec. It plays relatively unsmooth. Meanwhile, Scale Commander, I think at least, plays super smooth. It's definitely missing a lot of the oomph that Flameshaper has. And that is such a shame, because I wish that they would just make sure that like most talents are just equal. But obviously Blizzard being Blizzard, they never managed to do that. First, Flameshaper was an absolute joke and no one ever played it, and then they overbuffed it absolutely to the maximum and to the moon. And now it's the only thing that you should really play if you wanna play, in any shape or form in a serious matter. For example, I'm currently just doing the 12 keys, and I'm trying to get my 3k so I can get the mount. And I'm definitely getting to that point where I am just realizing and I am just feeling the fact that I am not playing the strong hero talent. Like, tanks are building pulls in M+ in such a way that you just know you would do so much damage if you would just play the right hero talent, and that just sucks. You know, at the end of the day, everyone always just tells you that you should play what you want to play, and that is correct for the most part, but there are just some parts in WoW where it's definitely better to just play whatever is OP right now. And it just always hurts when you get to that point with a class, especially if you enjoy it a lot. And I really hope that they maybe for once watch and learn from all the stuff that hero talents are right now, and what they do and what people do with them, and what kind of skill ceiling they sometimes have, and what ideas players from different classes have, and maybe just implement them. I know, chances are high they won't, because they're Blizzard, and at the end of the day, I know that Ian said a lot of, we really want to listen to the players, but, so far, I'm not seeing it. I don't know, I'm not 100% convinced that is really the route that they're going. I rather feel like they want us to feel good about ourselves, and they're still mostly doing their Blizzard thing of, well, we know it better than the players anyway. And I know, in a certain way that is just what you have to do as a developer, because everyone who plays your game always thinks that they know better how to do and develop your game than you. But especially when it comes to classes, Blizzard sometimes chooses to do or not do things that are just baffling. Like, as you might have noticed, I completely stopped playing my Shadow Priest. And that is not because I'm not enjoying my Shadow Priest. I really enjoy playing my Shadow Priest. But at some point, it's just frustrating. The spec still has the same issues that it's been having for years at this point. And there are so many people, so many smarter people than me who had pointed this out to Blizzard time and time and time and time and time again. And they did absolutely bloody nothing with that feedback. And it's a little bit heartbreaking. Because, for example, whenever I play Shadow Priest, I just feel very much at home. But if my Devastation Evoker ult already did more damage while I was barely understanding what I'm doing with my keys, then my Shadow Priest with like 30 item levels more, I don't know. That's not really cool. You know, that doesn't spark joy at all. And that is completely ignoring the point that if I would just like to push keys and get as high a score as possible, I just have to log into my Paladin and play Retribution and don't think about anything at all. Well, anyway, I like Retribution Paladin, by the way, before anyone gets upset in the comments. Oh man, yeah, you asked for a yapping episode. I really hope that I delivered. I am just trying to talk about all the stuff that comes up in my mind, and I'm just bombarding you with opinions. But honestly, I hope that's what you wanted. But honestly, at this point, I think only the hardcore Boo enjoyers are still left on this video, so I think I can just talk about hero talents without anyone being upset with me, because the people that would be upset with me are usually not the people that watch until the 4 or 5 minutes mark. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so far we have gathered 150-ish thorium, and we have 2 skill points to show for it. Isn't that nice? And as you can see, Winterspring is pretty nice for farming, because you can just go around the zone in a, well, not circle, but you know, plus shape, kinda. Because whenever there are mountains, there are usually some ore spawns, or ore deposits rather. And there's noise, but it definitely takes a long ass time, because yeah, we only have one single deposit to even give us skill points, and that is only a big maybe because they're green. I don't even know what the percentage is for green skills to still give you a point. Jesus, that was a mouthful. I had to say that like 3 or 4 times. But it's definitely pretty low. That's for sure. And I really hope that we even get to 300 with thorium. Do we get to 300 with thorium? Does anyone know? Because I for sure am not sure. I mean, wait, we only got 1 skill point so far. Oh my lord, that's even worse than I thought. Okay, that's pretty dire. And I think that they also changed the way that the daily, or rather the monthly quest from the Darkmoon Fair works, and you just need, I think you just get 2 skill points of the profession. I'm not 100% on that, by the way, but I think it wasn't a lot that you get. Which is kind of annoying, because I think, okay, you can make it like a little lower for the current expansion, but if someone uses that daily to, or rather, like I said, you can only do that once per market spawn. If someone wants to use that quest to level up an old expansion, especially something as grindy as Classic, then maybe just give them more skill points? You know, I feel like I would deserve at least 5. Because this takes forever. And ever and ever and ever. But this is a hell of my own choosing, you know? And I need 300 to learn these other 2 recipes. We can get those recipes, by the way. We just have to pick them up from... I think they both drop in the Blackrock, right? Or do they? Yeah, one is in the Black Rock Depths and the other one is in the Blackwing Lair. Okay, okay. Yeah, but we have to hit 300. I mean, something that I might also just, do at some point is maybe just say, F it. I'm done with farming thorium and just wait for the next and then the other and then another Dark Moon Fair to get my last few points, because as you can see, everything else is maxed out and is looking very nice. And I should maybe look onto my mini-map to get out of this cave again. I'm also looking for a cooler mount that fits more with our Sepulchre of the First One's LFR aesthetic. But honestly, I haven't really found anything. I mean, this has pretty nice colors, but on second glance, they're also not really matching. And also, you know, this is not really screaming the First One Zereth Mortis aesthetic, which I, by the way, don't even like that much. I think it looks dope on, like, weapons and on armor, but I wasn't a fan of the Zereth Mortis aesthetic whatsoever, zone-wise. Oh. I mean, dragon on dragon is always a little bit funny. Man, I don't even know how people did it during Dragonflight, where you couldn't use soaring and you were always stuck with flying on a dragon as a dragon, and I don't know, it doesn't sound that fun, to me at least. I mean, maybe the Thundering Jade Cloud Serpent, but that is a big mount. Especially when I'm farming, I don't like using big mounts because, like, it looks a little bit silly. And it makes it kind of, I mean, silly. It doesn't really look silly. It looks pretty cool. Honestly. You know what? Go away, Void Scarred Windrider. I mean, it is very distracting to fly around on such a big mount. But I really like my Cloud Serpents, and I don't even use them that often. Yeah, all of these other mounts are just not really cutting it. I mean, these little discs are pretty cool. I think they look very nice. But I don't think I have a green one. Man, if there's an add-on that just samples through your mounts color-wise, please tell me in the comments if you know something like that. Because I would love to just be like, show me all the green mounts, show me all the red mounts and stuff like that. Not really anything sparking joy, I think. Yeah. I mean, we definitely have a green... Oh, do you think the panther maybe... Oh, almost kicked down my tea. I mean, this one would probably fit if it only was a flying mount, but I think, even though some of these can fly, I don't think this one can fly. No, it can't. But it would look pretty cool. And it has a very cool mount special, I know that. Wait, don't we have a panther? Isn't there a panther? Am I not seeing the panther? Am I blind? Panther. Jade Panther! Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Nah, that's not the green we're looking for. Also, like, the armor is golden and we're rocking silver. Man, why is the armor golden? It would look so much better with, like, silver armor, no? I think so. Man, but otherwise this would be very fitting. Ah. Yeah, look, this one has silver armor. I gathered all the regions for this one, but I haven't used them yet because we haven't skilled jewel crafting yet, and I want to create this myself. Yeah, and I never bothered to buy this one because I never have gold ever. Man, everyone else has silver armor, but the Jade Panther of all has golden. Okay, cool. Do we even want to go into this cave again? Small. Haha, but rich. Oh man, and we're at 292. Wow, look at that. I think I've been recording myself farming for 10 minutes now, and we have two skill points to our names. Man, that's amazing. I mean, if I put in green... that's just what we just had, yeah. This is all not really the green... Oh! Look at this, you never use them, man. I mean, I kind of like that they're so special, and my blue Ankiraj drone is so special, but wouldn't that be a nice mount? I also like the old versions a lot more than the newer versions, but you probably guessed that. Oh, Nether Ray. I mean, Nether Rays are super annoying for farming, almost as annoying as this Cloud Serpent, because they are... I can never tell if they're flying or if they're grounded for some reason, but maybe that's just my bad perception. I'm half blind, but I think that is when I went to the eye person last time. They were like, "Hey, maybe you know, after you finished your studies, you don't have to look at screens so much." And I was like, yeah, but I'm a graphic designer, so you know, I will always have to look at screens." Unfortunately. Honestly, maybe we're gonna use the ray. Yeah, why not? Give me that ray. Man, we're shuffling through these mounts, but it's also kind of nice. I never like that I sometimes don't use any of my mounts anymore, that I always shuffle through the same 3 mounts and that's basically it. By the way, the last few days, War Mode has been deserted. There has been no one anywhere at all. I was in Undermine earlier and there was not a single other person anywhere. Almost every rare was up and I was able to kill them all by myself because there was no one. Kinda crazy. I mean, to be fair, there's really not that much to do this patch. People have shown up in my friend list and played Classic that I've never seen play Classic before. And also some of them have started to do all the achievements, which I have also never seen them do. So this season is on its last little legs, and I know that they just started a new event, like this Dastardly Duos thing. I haven't felt the need to try it out once. I was actually debating if I should do it for a video, but I read through, first of all, what you can get from them, like transmog-wise and mount-wise and stuff. And I also tried to gather what you have to do there, and it sounded so utterly boring that I have found no reason to do it yet. Please tell me in the comments if you want me to do that, but if you only want me to do that because it's boring and I will suffer, then I will not do it, by the way. I value my time on this earth too much for that. He said, and then he was mining for 300 classic mining skill in Winterspring. Yeah. Alrighty. Because I kinda know my Blizzard, I just looked it up again. And turns out you don't even get to 300 by just, quotation marks, just mining rich thorium, Wayne. Apparently, as soon as you hit 95, you have to smelt dark iron bars, or whatever they're called. Oh, yeah, exactly. Now. So apparently now we can already learn this. I mean, it doesn't say so, but we can start smelting dark iron, which at least is cool because this is red. And to get this, we have to get it from Gloomrel. Now, my stupid ass thought that Gloomrel is the main boss of these 7, I think, dwarf encounter that the Blackrock Devs has, but turns out, no, it's one of the others. And you actually have to talk to him before you start the encounter, because otherwise he's gonna become hostile and then he won't give you the recipe, obviously. So, let me quickly confirm that we cannot mine... Okay, you know what? I'm too lazy. We're not gonna confirm anything. We're just gonna use our Hearthstone, which will bring us to Valdrakken, sadly. And then we're gonna meet each other at the Black Rock after I've picked up some stuff that I need for the quest to get the recipe. Yeah. Alright, according to a very helpful comment on Wowhead from Parker J316, we need 20 gold bars, 10 true silver, and 2 star rubies. Now, we're gonna get our true silver. And I also just checked, and apparently I have exactly 20 gold ores, so that's convenient because that stuff is usually also not super expensive, but also I wouldn't call it cheap either. And I think we also have some star rubies. Yeah, we do. Okay, then let's smelt all the gold. And then we should also bring some dark iron ore, because, as you can read here, we can only smelt it at the Black Forge and Blackrock depths. So we gotta go there anyway, if we want to get our last 5 skill points. And I think I will quickly look up if dark iron ore is cheap on the auction house, or at the auction house, or in the auction house. I'm actually not sure right now. And otherwise, I think we can mine it inside the Blackrock. But since we need 8 per bar, and we need 5 bars at least, I hope it doesn't get yellow or let alone green. Let's first check out if that stuff is cheap or not. Dark iron ore. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't exactly call that cheap. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna buy a few. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna buy half of that. And if we can mine enough of that inside the Blackrock, then so be it. Then that is just that. And now let's travel to the Blackrock, which as a horde player takes a little bit longer because our city is not exactly beside the Blackrock, which is kind of sad because the Blackrock is definitely one of my favorite places to be. But if you're very lucky, then the Zeppelin to Stranglethorn Valley is, you know, just arriving as you want to go over there. So, yay! Alrighty, off we are to the Blackrock, which was just covered by that big world tree that also popped up in the long view distance. But behind it, you can already see my favorite mountain in World of Warcraft. And I think that is a very fitting end to this gathering and yapping video, wouldn't you agree? By the way, if you have any ideas for a more fitting mount than this one, or some of the others that I've already chosen, please write me in the comments, because I really dig this green, even though it is definitely not my favorite green. I usually rather like mossy greens and stuff, but for all it's worth, kinda like this color combination. And I also like that you can choose this exact green, at least as your hair color, which is nice because, yeah, like I said earlier, Blizzard and their not matching color combinations are a problem sometimes. But, you know, maybe I could have also just changed our flying, because we would be there a lot quicker. And, you know, now that I just said that, why don't I quickly do that after landing on this tiny little mountain. Kapow. And let's switch flight style and hop back onto our green riding netherray, and off we zoom to the Blackrock. Honestly, this is a pretty bad flying animation. Oh my god, that is kinda sad. This is the best I could come up with for the nether race. Oh my lord. Okay, there are some mounts, for example my baby girl Invincible, I count among them, which have such bad animations for the dragon riding. And apparently the nether ray is also one of those. Oh my god. That is kinda sad, not gonna lie. Alrighty, we made it. Now, who is Gloomrel? Angerel Gloomrel. There he is. Okay. So, in theory, yeah. Tell me your secrets. A Spectrofire. Complete quest, and now we need to talk to him again, and boom! There we go. Now we can smelt it. That's nice. And now we also need to kill him, sadly. I wish it was any other way, but sadly we need to go past this door, if I understood that correctly. So down they all go. Gloomrel, thank you for teaching me, but bye. Also you, bye. And now Doomrel also goes down. And now, after we've looted the chest of the 7 and getting Haunting Spectral Leggings, which will obviously look amazing, exactly, Wait, I think we have to go this way because we need to go to the Molten Core entrance. Is this already? Yeah, this is a Dark Iron deposit. Okay, let's check how much this gives us. Oh, 4. How convenient. And I think this is the Black Forge. I think this is the famous Black Forge. Very impressive. No, it's not. Isn't it? Or is the Black Forge down here somewhere? Do I have to read that comment again? What is the Black Forge? Is this the Black Forge? I mean, that looks like a forge. Aha! This is the Black Forge. Ba-bam. 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 And ba-bam. Oh, and we didn't get an achievement because I already had skinning on this character on 300. Well, but hey, we made it! Yay! And within this very story-heavy place in World of Warcraft, I'm gonna end today's episode right here and now. I really hope you enjoyed what you asked for. I kinda enjoyed this. It's been some time since we didn't really do anything big and we're just talking and chilling. If you would like to have more episodes like this again, then please tell me, because I don't need to do anything special or big for every single video. Also makes it easier for me to just make some more videos maybe again. But in any case, if you enjoyed today's episode, then please consider leaving a like or a comment. It helps and I appreciate it so much. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider doing that as well. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. And until then, bye bye!